Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Beth Chats Books. Now today is going to be episode 2 of Beth's Brew-Time Babble. Now this video is going to be a whole mishmash of different things, so I'm going to put in it some of the highlights of this month for me, my personal life and films I've been watching and things, and then at the end I'm going to do a big announcement for you all. Now I know it's not the end of July, but because of the fact that I've had to prep a lot of things because I'm going to be leaving the country at the end of this month, I've had to kind of cut the month short for myself, so I'm going to try and hack a lot into this video so that you guys can see the highlight of this month for me and I can tick off that I've kind of discussed it with you guys before I leave. So the first point in question, last week I graduated and that was a really fun day. So I had my graduation last Wednesday, because we're on Tuesday now, and so that was nearly a week ago and that was such good fun. I graduated the same day as my boyfriend, so we went down. I have a separated family, so I spent half the day with one side of my family and half the day with the other, but they both got to meet boyfriend's family, which was good. We all dressed up. I'll probably insert a couple of photographs here for you guys. But it was just a really fun day. It's a very long day. You get up very early, collecting your gowns, taking photographs, seeing everybody else graduate with you. And it made me very nostalgic for the 3 years that I thoroughly enjoyed, and it kind of made me want to do a master's really bad, but I kind of need to go into the working world, so I'll have to put that off for a little bit. But it was a real highlight of this month. I didn't expect it to go as well as it did. I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did, and I didn't expect it to go so fast. It was nice to have a final send-off. Had my piece with my last chapter with Keel, and it was nice to kind of close one door and have another open ready in the next chapter in my life. So that was a big milestone that happened. By the way, I'm sorry if I sound a bit groggy today. I've been poorly in the last couple of days and I've been on antibiotics, so that's why my face is not all kind of made up and bright, because I've been a little bit poorly. But I've been desperate to get these videos out because I've got no other time to film and upload them before I go, so you'll have to just bear with me. Also, this cup of tea is so hot, it's like burning my hands, and I'm trying to be all cool about it, but I'm sweating, so I'm sorry if I just look a bit of a mess or I'm just fiddling around with my hand because it is quite hot. So anyway, moving on. So that was a really good highlight this month. And then I watched a film the other day with my family, and it was interesting because for 3/4 of the film it was going to be a highlight of this month, but then I can't really class it as a favourite film this month or a piece of my kind of July favourites because it was irritating at the end. So I'm going to explain it to you. So I'm just going to put this cup down for a minute because it is very hot. So the film in question is Split, which I'll insert a picture of here. And this has got James McAvoy in it. And for 3/4 of it, I was absolutely hooked. His acting was phenomenal. It's a very difficult role to play because he's playing a man with a split personality disorder, and throughout the film they reference nearly 23, potentially 24 personalities that he plays. There's a lot of moments where they zoom in very close to his face and he's got to kind of do the transition from one person to the other, and they reference it as the person coming into the light, which means taking the space and taking the form of that person. And he was amazing all the way through it. His acting was superb. It was perfect thriller for 3/4 of the film, and I'm a big fan of thrillers. However, at the end, the last kind of quarter of it kind of nosedived off into horror. Now, I don't know if any of you are thriller fans but not horror fans, because I'm certainly one of those. So for a lot of you, horror elements might not be an issue for you, but I cannot stand horror films. One, it terrifies the absolute crap out of me, but two, I kind of think there's a lot of cliche, structured plot developments with horror that I think are just lazy in terms of writing and development, and I love thrillers because you have to stay with it and it unweaves and unwinds and it's a little bit confusing at points, but then you get your satisfaction at the end, whereas a horror I think is just cheap. And it kind of nosedived off into horror for me, it got into the gory saw bits at the end, and it really unfortunately affected my viewing overall of it. It dampened the whole experience because I was really excited thinking this was going to be an investigation into split personalities and that we were going to learn a lot, and then my boyfriend had to tell me at the end that actually kind of has a bit of a tenuous link to a film in the 90s, I forgot what it was called, which had Bruce Willis in it, and I think it had Samuel Jackson, who I think he was disabled in this film, I can't remember, and apparently Bruce Willis was unbreakable, unkillable, and Samuel Jackson was trying to kill him. And somehow this is going to have some link, and then it kind of made me think, oh god, is this going into the realms of superpowers? And I'm not really a big fan of horror, as I've just mentioned, but also not overly into fantasy superpowers kind of thing. If you're into elements of horror, you don't mind gore, you don't mind the kind of cliche, oh the music is coming up in the background and something dramatic's going to happen, and the heavy breathing and the running through darkly lit pipes, you know, down below in the boiler room kind of situation, then that'll be for you. But elements of that, I've seen it all before in horror films and I don't enjoy it. So that was a real dampener, but the absolute highlight of that film was James McAvoy's acting. It was phenomenal. If what I've described as this film interests you, go check it out. It was made, I think, in 2016. I think it's an extremely recent film, so you can go check it out and see. So that was one of the films I've enjoyed this month. The rest of my month has kind of been split into prepping for going away to Canada and recovering from being a bit poorly and trying to get my life in order. So July's just absolutely melted away for me. My graduation was last week. Had a kind of silent week before that. Now this week's been mad packing. Then I got poorly a couple of days ago, and that's really hindered being able to film and video and things like that, so that's been all a bit crap. But I'm now going to kind of go on to my announcement bit. Now it's not as scary as it sounds, but my announcement is that for the meantime I'm going to class this as a goodbye video because I am going to Canada. I'm flying out on Wednesday and it's Tuesday now, so it's very near the knuckle filming this. And I'm hoping when I'm out there that I can do some vlogs, potentially, hopefully upload something, but I can't promise you anything. Now I'll be back in September. I'm doing the last stretch of summer there, so I cannot guarantee that I can post videos for the next couple of weeks, but please don't fear and please don't get upset about that. I'm hoping that if you follow me on social media and you follow my blog page, I will keep communicating that way. The only reason I can't guarantee videos consistently is that even on days off, we have very tetchy Wi-Fi in the camp that I'm at. When I'm off on days off, it should be easier, and I will continuously do some kind of vlog so that when I come back, you've got an insight into what I've been doing. So you're going to have to kind of bear with me. But what I want to promise you guys is that in September there will be a back video in which I'm going to discuss my schedule for the upcoming month. So I won't be going off and jetting off anywhere after that. I'm going to kind of let you in on my schedule ideas so that each month you can expect when I'm going to be giving TBRs, wrap-ups, book hauls, Brew-Time Babbles, any extra videos that come floating up, so that me and you are on the same page. So I'm just asking all my loyal subscribers and all the people that view this channel to please not forget about me. I'm not going away permanently. This is just at the moment. I can't logistically find a better way for us to keep in contact for the next couple of weeks, but I will be back, and I'll be back with a vengeance, with a complete schedule, and we can get back to where we are now. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who's watching me. Please stay tuned because I'm not going anywhere. Please follow me on social media, Instagram and my blog page and anything like that, so that you can keep up to date with everything I'm doing, and I promise to keep communicating with you while I'm out there. So thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna actually try and finish this cup of tea now. It's gone a little bit cooler. And I'll see you guys all in September. Bye everyone.